Hello and welcome back to the Football Chat podcast. Today is episode 137, where we're continuing our series of going through every Premier League club and rebuilding them for the 23-24 season. Today we're looking at Nottingham Forest. Now we're going to tread carefully this year, because remember the Forest episode from last year, we got slaughtered by Forest fans for some of our comments. So we've done our research to a certain extent, so hopefully this year's episode is a lot better. But yeah, Forest then, looking back on last season, quite a good campaign. Well, very good campaign to stay up in your first season.
I think coming into this, when they spent all that money, they had such a large squad. There were high expectations, and towards the start of the season, they weren't met. We then, people thought, Steve Cooper's going to go here. And then Forest decided to back him, give him a new contract, and how that has paid off massively. Because towards the end of the season, they've been quality, especially at home.
I think the season went exactly as I expected. It's a good Nottingham Forest side, but it's always going to take time for a whole entire squad of players to gel, and it did take time. But towards the second half of the season, they did start picking up results with a bit more regularity. So, I think they've looked good this season. There's definitely areas for improvement, though, and we'll explore that today. But overall, some really good results. Did they go decently far in the Cup, I want to say?
They got to semi-finals of the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was thinking of.
That was massive. But brilliant home form, and they've had individual performances which were brilliant. Gibbs White, Brennan Johnson, Awoniyi, players that just stepped up.
It does feel a bit like rotation options aren't great, because obviously they had Jesse Lingard as a rotation option for Gibbs White, not an exact perfect fit there. And obviously we'll talk about Lingard and that whole situation in a moment. But definitely some areas for improvement. Then I think maybe another centre half's needed. They definitely need a left back because they're losing their loanees, and they've got to replace a goalkeeper as well because they don't have one at the moment. But Ethan Horvath. But we'll start then with, as we always do, with the contracts expiring. Now 7 players leaving on a free this summer, or have left on a free now. That is unparalleled.
It is,
that's so many players.
I don't think any of them are that good.
No, and it's mental that a club can lose 7 players and not really notice.
No.
But Jesse Lingard, of course, the first one, the most interesting, joined at the start of the season on a massive wage. He was on like 180 grand a week, something like that.
They saw his performances when he went on loan to West Ham.
Yeah.
From United, and they thought Premier League experience, and he's shown he's still got it in him. Let's bring him in. And I think it took them about 2 seconds to realise that was a terrible idea after they'd done it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they really wanted that marquee signing. They wanted someone that's played at big clubs who knows that sort of thing. Ultimately, both them and Fulham did the same thing. They went out and signed a player from Manchester United that didn't really play. Fulham got Andreas Pereira, who's been ridiculously good this season, and Forest got Lingard, who played,
it was a huge gamble that did not pay off at all.
No. Was it a gamble? Because it should have worked.
Yeah.
But he only played 927 minutes this season, didn't register a single goal contribution. It was just a really poor season. Yeah,
and undoubtedly, Morgan Gibbs White deserves to start over him every single game.
Yeah, pretty much. He had a great season, but Lingard really struggled. Andre Ayew was another weird one, joined on a free as well. Was this a January signing, I want to say?
I can't remember.
I feel like he joined in February. I want to have a look. But
February? How did he join in February?
I think he was released from his contract somewhere and they just came to Forest. Yeah, February 2023. He just left Al Sadd in Qatar, and for some reason Forest signed him.
I don't think they're going to miss him much either.
No.
I can't imagine. He didn't really do much, and he's not really good in New York, so I don't think I'm going to miss him.
A completely weird transfer. He played 13 times in the Premier League, only one of which was a start, and he didn't register a contribution.
Yeah, you can let him go.
Similar sort of thinking along of those lines for Jack Colback, who is also going. He barely played as well, making just 11 appearances this season. Again, really poor ratings, didn't really do anything. It feels like all these players are the same. Cafu, Lyle Taylor, Jordan Smith, Adnan Kanuric. They're all players that, have been involved in the squad, but haven't really played. Kanuric is a third choice goalkeeper from Bosnia who hasn't really played. He's been on loan at Oxford City.
Yeah, no, he's not really getting far.
For the first half of this
they're all not very good. They're not good enough for what Forest want to be.
No.
For a team that want to stay in the Premier League and be established in the Premier League. You don't want Jack Colback roles.
It's a shame that a player called Cafu just doesn't really play well. I mean, he made one appearance. He got 6 minutes.
I was going to say, your name's Kathy,
6 minutes against West Ham. But he did play in the FA Cup against Grimsby, where he got 2 assists. But he hasn't played since the 23rd of August, so...
Okay, that's a bit of a problem there.
Probably let him leave.
Yeah.
So yeah, it shows though their scattergun approach to recruitment. They just brought in loads of players. Some have worked, some haven't. I think this season's a lot more about refining that process. Yeah. Bringing in players, identifying areas in the squad which need improvement and bringing in players to fill those gaps.
And just cutting out the rubbish they don't need.
Yeah.
They're starting with letting these 7 players go that are not good enough. Very good start.
Then in 2024, I believe they have 14 players leaving on a free. I mean, you'd imagine they'll re-sign some of them.
Yeah, but there's a lot there.
We'll start at the top of the list. If we're still here in an hour's time, I wouldn't be surprised. But Scott McKenna up first. He's played a fair bit for them this season and been a really good player.
I think you probably give him another deal.
20 Premier League appearances since joining the club. Obviously, he has done well this season. I think for me, he's one of the only players that he's one of the only players that they kept.
Yeah,
he was in the squad before this.
I think he's just a fine rotation centre half.
Yeah.
They'll probably bring in players that are better than him, but he's fine to sit as a bench and it's your 4th choice, your 3rd choice.
Same sort of thinking applies to Joe Worrell, who made 30 appearances, scored as well this season, 21 starts. He is, him and McKenna work really nicely in rotation. Both of them are fine Premier League centre halves. Neither of them are going to be getting moves to Man City anytime soon, but they are good. They're good enough for Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, Worrell had a decent season. 30 games is not bad in a 38-game season, so he missed 8 of them.
Yeah. Only 21 starts, but see, it shows that the rotation between those two players. Yeah. But for me, re-sign McKenna, re-sign Worrell, get those deals done soon. Up next, Serge Aurier.
I wouldn't be in a rush.
He has done really well this year.
He has done really well, but maybe, I don't really know. This is a weird
He's played well. I think, given the fact you've got Neco Williams who can start, Aurier is only 30.
Yeah, I think you can give him another,
I would extend his contract.
2 years.
I mean, he's played 24 games this season, got a goal, a green average rating, which is pretty decent.
Maybe you do keep him. Remember his one goal against Chelsea, wasn't it?
I think it was, yeah.
But he's had a good
Chelsea
season.
in January. But since joining, he didn't really play for the first half of the season. Then he was killing it.
I think his time at Tottenham clouds my judgment on his footballing ability because he was rubbish.
That's what we've got to remember. Yeah, Tottenham players aren't bad; they just play for Tottenham.
Yeah,
so
whenever you put Tottenham shirt on, your ability decreases by half.
It just drops. Imagine Harry Kane if he was at a different club; he'd be scoring 8 goals a game.
17 Ballon d'Ors by now.
It'd be ridiculous, but yeah. Up next, Sam Surridge.
He looks like he's going out the door.
Yeah, Leeds apparently interested in him. Do you think that's a good signing for them? And do you think it's good for Forest to let him leave?
I think for Forest it's brilliant. He's got a year left in his deal. Sell him now so you don't lose him on a free. And you don't really want to keep him around. For Leeds, he's absolutely fine in the Championship. He'll probably notch up a few goals. How many goals did he get in the Premier League this year?
He got 1.
But
in all fairness, he only played 307 minutes. He made 20 appearances, only one of which was a start, and he only mustered up just over 300 minutes.
I think the Championship he could be looking at maybe 10, maybe 15. Really depends how he hits the ground running. But I think that makes sense for all parties for him to leave.
Yeah, then it's Willy Bolly, who...
He featured.
Yeah, he did all right this season when called upon.
They rotated their centre half so often.
Only played 11 times, but
9 starts.
When called upon, he did all right.
It's kind of, he never got subbed on, but if they were missing a centre half, he'd go in there.
Yeah, so he played the final game of the season against Palace. It feels like he often played those easier games. He played against Leeds in February, played the full night actually against Man United in February as well. So whenever there's an injury or suspension, he can come in and do a job. Wouldn't renew his contract though. I think there's better options out there.
I think if you've got Worrell, you've got McKenna, you're bringing in another centre half or another 2, and there's a couple more centre halves in this list that are leaving that we probably
there's loads of centre halves. This squad is ridiculous. That's the thing. You can sell someone. I know there's 8,000 other people just sat in the reserves. So they've got. That's one thing about having this massive squad, but. Yeah, up next then we have Cheick Kouyaté, who I'll be honest, I completely forgot even played for Forest, but he has made 21 appearances this season, only 10 of which were starts. But do you think he's a keep? He played, again, the final day of the season, he got a fair few minutes. He tends to get around 20 minutes at the end of games, by the looks of it, or throughout the end of the month there. But he was playing fairly regularly back in November, October time, so that explains where all his starts are, but... For me, since Scarpa's came in, since Danilo's came in, his
Yeah.
importance is lessened. I don't think Forest fans have any problem with letting him go. I
I'm
don't
sure
think
there'll be
he's a massive
suitors
problem.
this summer if you want to sell him. If not, just let him run down his
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah.
Because if it's not a player, we sit here in a year's time and go, well, they're going to let he's left on a free, they're not going to miss him.
Yeah, when we redo this video next season. Well, unless they get relegated. But I think they'll be fine. But
We'll see that later.
indeed. But I think...
You can
I think
probably
it should-
afford to let him go.
Probably. Felipe. Now, the problem with Felipe is that his age. He's played 16 times this season, 15 which were starts since joining in January. Yeah, January.
And Eagles been brilliant.
He has been really good, but do you keep a 34-year-old? Because he's still got another season left. There's not any sale value there. You're not selling him on this summer.
35 by the time he gets into his contract. I think that is probably a good time to end it.
Yeah.
Have one last strong season, but I don't think you can keep around.
And if you
a
get to
36-year-old
to
man.
like February and he's still doing
Yeah.
well, then maybe renew him another year.
Yeah.
But for me, I think just don't sign that too early because
Yeah.
it's not like it's a massive problem if he leaves.
No.
So I wouldn't be too keen on or too quick to renew that. Up next, it is Loic Mbeso, somebody who's never has he played for Forest. He made 13 appearances when he was before they joined the Premier League.
Yeah.
Once they went up to the Premier League, he hasn't played. What do you do with him? Do you let him go? Do you try and sell him this summer? Probably.
I
I'd
mean, he's been
say.
playing in the second division of France.
Well, yeah, he came from PSG to Forest in
Yeah.
2020. He got a couple Championship minutes, but yeah, then he's gone out on loan to Guingamp this season, where he played 14 appearances in the second division. Looked quite comfortable, 7.2 average rating. Clearly, he's
But that's a second division
capable
of
there.
France. That's a long way
Yeah,
away.
I think there will be suitors though in the Ligue 1, so
Yeah.
maybe you look at selling over there. I just don't think he's going to be playing
Oh,
Forest.
so the problem is if you give him another loan, you then have to give him a new deal because if not, he's going to do that loan and then come back without a contract.
Yeah, so you probably sell him this summer,
Yeah.
or loan him out and just know you're going to lose him for free,
Yeah.
or keep him around and know you're going to lose him for free.
Yeah.
Anyway, next on the list it is Steve Cook.
This
So
is a
many
very old
names
squad.
on this board, but Steve Cook. I mean, he's not looked great this season. Let's be honest. They haven't played him since January, but he did feature a lot in the first half of the season, which is when they didn't look as good.
And they bought in Felipe.
Then Felipe came in. Steve Cook's not really
I
played
think
since.
Steve Cook's time to go.
Yeah, I could even see him leaving this summer
Yeah.
because I wouldn't be surprised if we see him move to a Southampton. Someone like that. Get that step down to the Championship. I just don't think he's Premier League level.
Yeah, no, I see that.
But yeah, he's not done well this season.
32 now, will be 33 on the end of his contract.
There's still a player there that can do
Yeah.
well in the Championship. He's just not a Premier League player,
No, not at all.
quite frankly. Up next, we have... Can't quite see the name on the board, but I have got a list
Josh
here.
Bowler.
Josh Bowler, that's it. I'm going to be honest, never heard of the bloke.
He's a winger, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah.
I'm trying to
I
find
think
him.
so.
He's not on there. Oh, there he is.
He's right there.
Lovely hair. He is.
So you've seen him live? He was the Nottingham Forest winger that everyone compared to Jack Grealish against Norwich.
No, that's Bournemouth.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Bournemouth. Anyway, yeah, Josh Bowler. He was on loan at Blackpool for the second half of this season. He played 19 times. He was on loan at Olympiacos for the first half of the season. Obviously,
you can probably
the
let him
Forest
go.
Olympiacos link, but
Olympiacos and Blackpool.
he didn't pull up any
Quite-
cherries
no,
in
not
Greece.
quite- not
Didn't
quite
do anything at
Elasticus.
Blackpool in the
No.
Championship. Probably not going to play.
No, I don't think he's really.
But he is
Premier League quality.
ambidextrous, or whatever you say when they have 2 feet. Anyway,
Okay.
next up, Ethan Horvath.
I think he is an interesting one.
So
because-
Luton obviously had him on loan last season. He had a really good campaign, 51 appearances, helped them get up to the Premier League. Luton haven't used the clause to re-sign
I don't
him,
blame them.
sign him permanently. So he is at Nottingham Forest now. Do Forest keep him as a capable second goalkeeper and bring in a first? Do they start him or do they sell him?
For me, if Horvath is happy to play backup, you play him backup. If he is not happy to play backup, you sell him. I just don't think he's good enough to start in the Premier League. He was too error-prone in the Championship, and if he's not error-prone in the Premier League, Forest they'd concede like ridiculous amounts of goals.
Yeah.
I think you either, if he's happy to stay, play him back-up. If he's not, sell him. Because every club's in the Championship that have watched him last year and go, yeah, I love that.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I think he could definitely do a job in the Championship. I know obviously Leicester are looking for a goalkeeper. It looks like they're going to go in for Zach Steffen, though, so probably not them. Southampton have Bazunu, but there's going to be clubs out there that need goalkeepers. Try to think now who Leeds. Oh, Leeds have Melier, but he might well leave, which case they may look for a keeper. But Horvath, there's going to be suitors. You're going to find someone. He's had a good season.
Yeah,
but he has had an error proneness, which I think means he's not good enough for the Premier League yet. No. But he is only 28. I was going to say, I thought he was a lot younger. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think he's Premier League quality yet. And I don't think he ever will be, probably.
I think if he's happy to stay, keep him on his backup.
Yeah, sure. Maybe he could do a job abroad. Maybe he could get a move to Ligue 1, somewhere like that.
MLS.
Bundesliga.
I hope it
MLS that's a bit of a weird...
But he's American, that's what I'm going to go.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know, maybe. Maybe Saudi Arabia want Ethan Horvath. Make Ronaldo look really good when he's scoring past Ethan Horvath. But yeah, next up we have Mohamed Draga, who is a defender, I think. But gonna struggle to find him. I don't think he's even on their football squad list.
Yeah, he's
there he is. Tunisian defender. He plays right back. He was still at the... No, he wasn't at the club. He was at Luzerne this season.
I think you can also let him go. That's an easy one. It's quite a lot just to let him run down their contracts, or just sell him now, or just loan him out.
Yeah, well, he wasn't. It doesn't even look like he was on loan at Luzerne. There's no loan thing here. It just says permanently from February 2022 to June 2023. He's still on the Forest squad list. His contract doesn't expire for another year.
I think he's got to go.
Don't know what's happening there.
Honestly, most of this list you just get rid of.
But he can go. Wayne Hennessy. Is there even point looking at what he's been up to this season?
He's a fine third choice though.
He is. He's got that. Is he homegrown? I want to say he's homegrown, sure.
He's Welsh, yeah.
And
well, I mean, Palace as well,
he would have been trained in England, I think. So.
He's been Premier League a donkey years.
Came through where? Came through at Wolves.
I know, so. Played for Palace for a long time. How long was he at Palace for?
He was from Palace. It was at Palace from 2014 to 2021.
Wow. That's donkey's years.
And his youth career, because he played for the Palace U23s in 2021, but didn't have a youth career. His youth career is Crystal Palace U23s, February 2021 to July 2021.
He played a few games last year. He was not great, but he's a fine back. He
didn't keep a clean sheet. He conceded 5 goals in 3 starts.
He played against Man United, so we'll let him off a bit.
He also played against Palace in the final day.
Those 3 games were against... Were they all in the Premier League? So that's 2 against United. No. He played Carabao Cup.
He played against Bournemouth.
He played Carabao Cup.
No, so this is just the Premier League. But yeah, he did play 2 games against United in the Carabao Cup, where they conceded a total of 5 goals across those 2 games. But I'm sure that's not all his fault.
No.
The final player on the list is Harry Arter. What a name.
Oh my days. How is this man still employed at a Premier League football club?
I don't even know what he's been up to this season. Should probably look as well.
Sunbathing, probably.
I've not seen him. For Irish International. He has not played. He played in the National League. He was on loan at Notts County at the end of last season. Yeah. Not this season, though.
Oh.
So he's just been at Forest. He's not played.
Let him go.
How do you go from National League to just sitting on the bench of the Premier League? That doesn't happen. What is going on?
Harry Arter's had such a weird career.
Yeah. Like Charlton, Woking, Bournemouth, Carlisle, Bournemouth in the Prem, Cardiff, back to Bournemouth, Fulham, back to Bournemouth. What a mental career. And then Forest.
Crazy.
Somehow he's up in the he's played National League football and Premier League football.
Yeah.
Just so consistent. He's all over the place.
We're finally through the contract list.
Yeah.
I think it's time.
Forest probably need to just sort out their squad size. They've got so many players, and as we've seen from this list, they're not good.
No,
but they do need to add some players. Should we do our squad keeper sell and get through the rest of the players that run on that contract?
Come on, let's do this, guys. Stick with us.
Okay, there's no goalkeepers left because they're all expiring.
They do need
a goalkeeper. Or goalkeeper or
but
2.
Equally Horvath as a backup and Wayne Hennessy.
Yeah, if you renegotiate Horvath, you renegotiate Hennessy maybe, but Kenrich has already left the club. Cook's going, Auré's going, Bowley's going.
They want to keep Auré.
Bowley's going. I mean, sorry, the contracts. We've already spoken about them. Felipe the same, Scott McKenna. The first player to talk about in squad keeper sell is Harry Toffolo.
Why is he here?
I don't know.
How many games did he play?
He did make 19 appearances in the Premier League.
Maybe he's a fine backup.
Backup left back. They do need to bring in a left back. Because they're losing Renan Lodi.
He cannot start.
That's someone we've not spoken about, but they are losing Renan Lodi. They're losing Keylor Navas. They were both loans, yeah. So was Chris Wood, but they've re-signed that for some reason.
Why?
I really don't know.
Did he play?
He did.
He got 7 games.
But I don't know if he's worth 17 million. I don't know why.
17 million for him.
No.
That's criminal. We'll get onto that later.
We will.
That's a crime.
But yeah, Harry Toffolo, 9 starts,
Fine
19
backup.
appearances, can do a job as a backup.
Yeah.
Musa Niakate. He did really well, I think.
did.
He played only 14 times.
Yeah, but similar to Willy Bolly, never got subbed on. He just started.
Started every single game he played, but yeah, I don't know. He's played a lot towards the end of the season. We can see there throughout May he played most of the games. A lot of green ratings, but yeah, really featured towards the end of the campaign. Perhaps took him some time to adapt to the Premier League.
Yeah.
He played the opener, they lost. He played the second game, they won, and they didn't play again until March. So he must have got injured, I'm presuming that from that. But when he's been fit, he's done well.
Keep him around. He's an absolutely fine starter / backup.
Yeah. Up next, we have Richie Layer, who was at the
Youngster,
MLS.
right? Yeah.
But
He's
I think he
quite
could
good,
definitely come back and do a job.
Yeah.
So for Toronto
Where have I
this
seen him
season,
play?
he made 18 appearances in the second half of this campaign. It's weird.
Yeah.
He's on loan.
Oh, because they do
in
the
terms
weird,
of because it's been 2 seasons for him. But for us, for the 22-23 campaign, second half of 2022.
Yeah.
The end of the campaign, he played 10 appearances, did all right. Really shone the first half of this campaign for Toronto, though. 18 appearances, 2 goals, 3 assists. I think he can do a job at right wing back. I really he could come in and do really well. Or at right back, we don't really know what system for us to go play. It could be their 3-4-3, could be a 3-5-2, could be. I mean, against the big clubs, they often ran a 3-5-1-1, or we saw towards the end of the season that actually they're 4-3-2-1 with those 2 strikers, sort of 2 second strikers, almost like wingers, almost like attack midfielders, just playing just off of our knee.
I mean, we saw
that really works.
Aussie Larry play at the World Cup.
Of course,
Canada.
yeah. So I
did the
think he could do a job at right back, right wing back. He covers that role really nicely.
Hold back for it,
28 years old, can definitely do a job next season, I think. But they may well sell him and let him go to Toronto because
maybe.
they have got. If they've got Aurier, they've got Neco Williams. Don't really know where there's space for him. But if they were to let Aurier go, maybe keep Laya. Omar Richards, another backup left back because they need 3 of those, obviously. How could you go without 3 backup left backs? He's not played. He joined last July. He's not played a single minute in any competitions.
Where is he?
What do you mean? Where is he?
I mean, he hasn't played this. He's not even.
He's not. You've got a
pinned him
minute.
somewhere.
I don't know where he's
He
been.
got into hiding. No, I don't really know what to do about him because I've never seen him play.
A good
he hasn't
player.
played.
He did well for Reading back in the day. Then he joined Bayern. He was a
What
promising
a
young
career
player.
change, by the way.
Was it because he was such a promising young player? And then he's just gone to Forest and done nothing.
Died.
But I think Bayern probably realised, why have we signed this man and then played him 17 times? But he did all right for Bayern. Like, it wasn't tragic, and yet he's now at Forest, hasn't played. Anyway, probably a sell. Jonathan Panzo.
I mean, what a season he had on loan at Coventry.
He did. Do you think he can come back? Because obviously young centre half.
Yeah, I think he was mint.
I think if you're bringing him in, you're probably I don't know, maybe looking at letting one of McKenna or Worrell go.
Yeah.
I don't know. Depends whether you sign a centre half as well, but he can definitely come in and do a job. I think he'll be involved at some point this season. Obviously, they like to have a big squad. There's no reason he can't come and just be one of their players. That probably means that they will let Julien Biancone go.
Yeah.
Biancone, I don't know how you say his name, but he's not featured lots this season. He did get injured, big cruciate ligament injury in November. He won't be back until August. So he probably won't reach the start of the season at all.
Yeah,
You're not going to be able to sell him because who's going to buy a player without a cruciate ligament? But he's only 23, so he's a good player. There is promise there. There's always the fear when the player picks up a big injury that they won't return the same player.
Yeah.
Obviously, he played 3 games for them after joining last summer. He was one of their 2,700 players that joined last summer. But yeah, did all right at Troy before that. Came through at Monaco. There's a good player there, I feel.
Yeah, give him time.
It's a shame he picked up an injury. We didn't get to see a lot of him this season. It'll be interesting to see whether he can get more minutes once he returns from injury. Neco Williams, then.
Well, he's a must-keep, isn't he?
He is their best player, I would say, other
One
than...
of them.
Well, yeah, probably... Other
Gibbs
than
White.
Gibbs White and Brennan Johnson, I'd probably say...
And Wanyi.
I'd argue Neco Williams is more important.
Fair
I think Neco Williams is so talented. A fantastic right back. Can also play wing back as well. Good going forward. Good defensively. Very all round. Very good all round game. I think for me, you've got to keep him.
Definitely.
100%.
Definitely.
Unless you get an offer at like £50 million,
obviously.
you tell whoever's offering to do one.
Yeah.
Midfielders then, John Joe Shelby.
Wow.
He's made 11 appearances this season in the Premier League, 6 of which were starts.
Yeah, maybe don't employ him for much longer.
But he only joined in January. His contract is valid until beyond 2024.
I just don't know where he's going to go, so I feel like you could just keep him around for a bit.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah.
One of your many
choice centre midfielder.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe 6th
you
choice.
do always need 8 offer options at centre mid, don't you? But yeah, up next we have, trying to find someone that we've not spoken about, Remo Freuler. He was someone I expected to come in and do a lot better. He has done well, 28 appearances in the Premier League. I just thought he'd do a lot better. I thought it'd be like João Palhinha. People be talking about him in the season like, what a player. But I don't know, he's had a bit of a slow start to life in the Premier League. I think maybe next year he could pick that up a little bit. But I don't know, do you think he gets less minutes next season? Because they've got Danilo, they've got Scarpa in there.
I don't know. I feel like he had a decent first season. He can definitely push on, but as you say, it's whether he's going to get the minutes.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else they've got in there. They just get Ryan Yates, Oro Mangala. They've got so many midfielders. John Joe Shelby. I just don't know. I don't know whether he'll get loads of minutes next season, but he should. He's a good player.
Yeah.
Then obviously we've said about Jesse Lingard and Cafu going. Gustavo Scarpa is someone I've sung the praise of a lot this season.
He joined in January and he's been brilliant.
He's a really exciting player, carries the ball forward really well. Only 6 Premier League appearances, 2 starts, but whenever I've watched him, he looks really good. I think we'll start to see him more and more next season.
We only had half a season, so...
Yeah, especially if they play with midfield 3, because then there's 3 midfield options in there, or if they play, he could also play as one of the second strikers.
Again, I think he's just a good... It's got a good, healthy rotation of loads of different players that can do different things.
Yeah, he's had some really standout moments, but he's not really torn the world apart yet. I just think he's a really talented
player. Give him time though. Yeah, how old is he?
29. So yeah, can definitely got to give a few years left in him. Only joined in January. Be interested to see how he develops. Oro Mangala. He's had a really good season, hasn't he? Joined from VfB Stuttgart. And yeah, you'd expect him to do well, and he did well. He played 27 times. He is a good midfielder, lots of energy in there, good tackler as well. I think for me, he'll probably be one of the first names in the midfield on the team sheet, because I don't know, there's so many options. What do you do there? But
I don't know how Mangala, 11 of them.
I don't know, I don't have a clue.
Like 40 to pick from.
You get a giant spin wheel out to it every day, and you could have a completely different midfield every week. But yeah, Ryan Yates then as well, similar sort of boat. They both came in, did well. I think Yates was already at the club, wasn't he?
Or did he come through from?
He's been there since 2018. So yeah, Ryan Yates has been there a while, but he has adapted to the Premier League, adjusted to the Premier League really well, and
Jerry Yates.
He does. He's a bit of a. I think opposition fans and players aren't a massive fan of him because he's a bit of that not Joey Barton type. Scott Brown. Yeah, no, it's not completely off the rails, but a bit of a Scott Brown. Likes to go in.
Scott Brown.
He's up with gambling.
He's aggressive. He's an aggressive.
He's very aggressive. Yeah, and a bit.
He seems like an absolute. I hate to play against him because he's real wide that merchant and a bit of a twat.
Yeah, exactly. Morgan Gibbs White.
Just wow, what a season!
I mean, we're watching at the moment in the U21 Euros.
He's magical.
By the time this comes out, England may well be winners of that. In which case, Morgan Gibbs White will be a huge part. Would have been a huge part of that.
I just look at it and go, he was brilliant at Wolves.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to Sheffield United.
What do you mean? He had a great loan.
Wolves
didn't really play? Sheffield United got that loan move. No. Wolves didn't really use him. Forest went, all right, we'll have him then. 40 million quid. Brilliant. People disrespect that, but going 40 million for Gibbs White, that's a joke.
But I was one of them. I thought 40 million and I'd pay like 20.
37 appearances, 13 contributions. He's paying that back.
Yeah, wow.
By the moment, and I think for me, he has much higher resale value than 40 million right now.
Watching him play, he's just brilliant. And as you say, watching him for England at the moment.
A great technical player, great creator, good finisher as well. His positioning is excellent. He can play just off the striker. He could play out wide. He could play middle of the field because he is such a versatile player.
He just causes so many problems as well.
100%. So for me, Morgan Gibbs White, it's an obvious keep, isn't it?
He was a magical season.
Brandon Aguilera, only 20 years old.
He's very good though.
He's been on loan at Estoril the second half of the season. Seems to be a good young player. He hasn't played for Estoril, but he has been
only
there.
20, already Costa Rican international, and I think he's got quite a high potential.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I've not really seen enough of him. Genuinely, there is no record of him. There is no record of him ever playing football on here, apart from some Costa Rican leagues. So, obviously needs to be proven. I would get him a loan where he's going to play because he didn't play at all at Estoril, but he is a good player.
Yeah.
Up next, another youngster. This guy is Paraguayan, Brian Ojeda. He's had a really successful loan spell this season. He was out on loan at Real Salt Lake, spent the whole season out on loan. Again, weird timings thing. Tough start of the season. Tough end of last season, only 6 appearances. Start this season, though, 18 appearances in the MLS.
Similar boat to, what was it, Laria?
Yeah, and he's a very green rating, so he's doing well. I could see him going. Would you loan him again? I don't really know the problem is they've got so many prospects, but how do you start giving him game time over your other 8 options there? Plays him in midfield as well, which doesn't help him because there's 100 of those. No. And the same sort of thing for Tyrese Fornar. Spent the season on loan at Reading, and he's not really played well. Not really good enough for Forest. Sorry, he did well for Reading. Made a permanent move then to the Championship, but not any time. Not going to be playing for Forest anytime soon. Up next, then the final of the midfielders. We're cracking through this finally. Danilo.
What a brilliant season he had joining the Premier League this season. How old is he?
He's only 22. He came in January. He's played 13 times since then. 3 goals, 2 assists. Incredible numbers. For me, again, should be starting in midfield. I don't know how you compose this midfield.
No, honestly.
Maybe just play 8 midfielders. 8 midfielders. Brennan Johnson can run up front and Felipe can hold it together at the back. But they've got so many midfielders.
Again, very, very high potential.
He's very talented. Onto the forwards then, finally. A lot of these are already spoken about, but
good.
Yeah, Lyle Taylor has left the club, so we don't need to talk about him.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, thank God. Where else?
I'll end up back to Joel Colback.
I don't know, I misclicked on Jack Colback, so we're back there now. Chris Wood is joining permanently.
Mental, absolutely mental. Why? This makes no sense.
It doesn't fit. He played 25 times, 9 starts, and just scored 3 goals. Well, and they went, that seems worth 17 million.
Does that not also combine his stats at Newcastle?
Oh yeah, he only joined. He played 7 times, 1 goal. 1 goal and 7 appearances. And you've gone, let's spend 17 million. That seems like a really good idea.
I guess he's a backup to Awoniyi.
But they've got 8 of those, and they're already looking at others. As we got on to an improvement.
I honestly don't know why they've signed him.
Why have they signed Chris Wood?
They've done it, so he's there.
Yeah. Then up next, Oi Joe Huang. I hope I pronounced his name correctly there, but he's been on loan at FC Seoul for the second half of this campaign, where he notched up 18 appearances and 4 goals in the K-League. But he is 30. He's not playing for them.
He's 30?
Why did they sign him in August 2022? I don't know.
Sell him immediately.
Don't know why, but he's not played for Forest. He's been out on loan.
Who's ever loaned out a 30-year-old man?
Well, they signed him from Bordeaux, then loaned him to Olympiacos, which is their model, isn't it? They like to loan players to Olympiacos to prove themselves and then bring them back to the first team. He didn't. Well, no, he's an affiliation with Olympiacos, the owners. And then they went, well, he's not done well, let's just send him back to Korea. And he did well there. He's not playing for them, is he?
No.
Taiwo Awoniyi.
What a season he had. Brilliant numbers. Great season. Really strong towards the end of the campaign and at the start of the campaign.
Those goals at the end of the season, he scored 6 goals in 4 games.
That's crazy.
If he can keep that up if he can sustain that over the start of the season, he could lead Forest into Europe. But that's going to take a lot.
Okay.
If he's scoring 6 goals every 4 games, then he's going to crush it. Haaland's getting minced, mate.
Nearly 50, just over 54 goals.
That would be quite a few goals, That would probably take him into Europe. Yeah. Anyway, he's probably not going to do that. If he did, that would be amazing. And they'd probably send him to Real Madrid for about 700 million. But
yes.
Yeah, good player. I think he should start for them every game.
Yeah.
But they do need some backup because the backups are horrendous. Speaking of which, Emmanuel Dennis. He was just distinctively crap.
2 goals, 2 assists in good. 19 games.
19 games, 6 starts.
Only 6 starts, though.
The only thing I remember about this man is that Forest put out a pre-match graphic for their game against Wolves of him stroking some wolves, some like little baby wolves, and then they lost the game, and Wolves replied by chopping down a tree graphic. That's all that happened. Dennis has done nothing else this season at all.
I want to know where they got that wolf from. That's all I remember from his season. I don't really know why they signed him.
It makes sense on paper. He did well at Watford in the 21-22 campaign. Hasn't done well this season.
I think you see who wants him in the Championship.
There's going to be suitors. I think maybe you could use him to try and get someone else you want. Maybe from Leicester. we'll talk about that in a moment. But yeah, I think there's definitely options. Then Sam Sargent spoke about, he's off to Leeds. Josh Bowler's not great. And Brennan Johnson is the final person we'll discuss. Give him a lifetime contract. Don't let him go to Aston Villa, ever.
I think they'll be alright though, because they want 50 million or more. I don't think Aston Villa or any other football club are going to pay that, because that is very steep for a player. He's quality.
Really rated
50 million's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. But
he's 22 and he's very good.
He is very good.
So I think, again, obviously manage and player keep at all costs. But if someone
you get that 50 million,
if someone like Villa does come in with that 50 million value, you've got to say
there are other footballers out there
of £100 million.
Well done.
That is mental. That is a mental amount of money.
You could go like, oh, just got a tenner, mate. That's almost 100 quid. No, it's not.
It's a tenth of 100 quid.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Are we finally through the squad?
We are. Should we talk about some improvements?
Squad in the Premier League, surely.
Well, yeah. Everyone talks about Chelsea's squad being huge. The Forest squad's ridiculous.
Yeah. So what we're going to do now? Add to it.
Because somehow Forest have got all these players, yet they've not loaned them out.
A lot of them
were there. Yeah, a lot of them are leaving anyway.
20 of them have got their contracts expiring.
Improvements then. There's actually some. This is really difficult because I kept going, oh, they could do with a left back, then finding 8 others. But we've got some players that I think could improve the squad. Firstly, I think they need some goalkeepers. That one's quite obvious.
That's the one position they do need.
They have no goalkeepers. No. Somehow. They've got 400 players and none of them playing goal.
No.
Starting centre half, I think you could do with one more centre half. Felipe's not getting younger.
Yeah.
Scott McKenna and Worrell are fine, but they don't really
add one more quality centre half to that rotation.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I've got, I think, a good option. Does mean Niakate might get less minutes, but he's been injured for a lot of this campaign anyway, so I do have my reservations there. Up next then is a left back. I think a starting left back is really useful. They've just lost Renan Lodi's loan. I wouldn't want to start Toffolo. I wouldn't want to start Omar Richards. He's not played at all. So I've got an option there. And then out wide, some options to rotate Gibbs White and Brennan Johnson, because Gibbs White played 37 times this season. So some options to rotate there, but also some options if they were to lose them. Because there are going to be suitors, if not this summer, next summer, maybe even January as well. So to have options, players that they can rotate with, I think that makes sense. And then some forwards. Some backups to Awoniyi that aren't Chris Wood.
No.
But Chris Wood, he is there. He is on this list. They did spend 17 million on him.
That's mental.
That's all they've done.
So they get 50 million from Brennan Johnson, they spent already spent 17 million of that on Chris Wood.
They have done that. Yeah, that
is a joke.
It's ridiculous. Why? Anyway, we'll start with goalkeepers then. I've got 2 options here. First of which, someone you may be familiar with, Sampdoria goalkeeper Emil Aldero.
Yeah.
I think he makes a lot of sense. He's a good ball-playing goalkeeper, very comfortable with the ball at his feet, good distribution as well. Tends to be what Steve Cooper quite likes in a goalkeeper. Aldero fits the mould, good shot stopper as well. A bit more of a rogue shout then is Reims goalkeeper Yevan Diouf, who I think his shot-stopping numbers are really, really good. Distribution isn't stunning. He often overhits his distribution. That's not necessarily a terrible thing, because a wider pitch and bigger pitch, as we tend to see in the Premier League than Ligue 1, may suit his distribution really well. So I think he put his profile is very similar to Onana. He's very good with the ball at his feet, sometimes overhits distribution a lot, likes to come out quite far. I think he really, really works. I think it'd make a lot of sense. So both of those could be options. Maybe sign them both and rotate them and see who you like more.
If you did sign them both, which one would you start?
Probably Aldero, just because he's older. I think Aldero's pushing 30 now, I want to say. I can't remember.
I think if you bring in Aldero, you keep Horvath as your backup, Hennessy as your third, that's solid.
Nice. Oh yeah, Aldero's only 26, to be fair.
Wow.
So you probably,
he's older than that. He's been around for ages.
He has been around a while.
And he's owned by Sampdoria.
Yeah. And then Yevan Diouf is only 23. So you are getting a very young goalkeeper.
I'm saying Horvath's 28 and Hennessy's nearly 40.
With 31 appearances in Ligue 1 this season, 14 clean sheets.
That's crazy.
For Reims. That's a team that shouldn't be.
Both in,
31 conceded 31 games. I was really impressed with his profile.
I'd bring them both in.
And he's probably able to speak English because of...
Will Still.
So, and he just speaks all 700 languages, so you'd probably learn a bit of English from him. But yeah, I think he's a really good goalkeeper. The fact he's kept the other 7 goalkeepers at Reims out of the squad is probably a good...
7?
No. They've got...
I was going to say...
5 other goalkeepers. But that's still 6 goalkeepers.
Why have they got 6 goalkeepers for?
I don't know.
Let's move on. That's not as bad as Forest.
I clicked on them, they've got 6 goalkeepers. They've also got about 100 forwards. Anyway, this isn't about Reims, but maybe
we'll do a one-off Reims podcast and just go for their goalkeepers.
Anyway, yeah. So I think both of those could be good options.
I'll bring them both in.
The only fear is neither of them are experienced in the Premier League, but they are both good goalkeepers. It tends to translate a lot easier, doesn't it?
Goalkeeper's the least position where you need experience.
Yeah, so maybe you bring both in. Start Aldero, give Diouf. You could even loan Diouf for the season.
Yeah.
But the fact he's been playing top-flight Ligue 1 football, he kept a clean sheet in every other game he's played. That's very impressive. So for me, he could even come in and be your starting goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So either one of those two. For Aldero, be around that 12 mil mark. For Diouf, 8 mil, 10 mil, something like that. They're both going to be quite cheap, I would imagine.
That's cheap for a keeper who's kept 14 clean sheets.
Yeah, but then you think about Edouard Mendy going to Chelsea only 2 years ago. Yeah. That was like 20 million for a goalkeeper that put up much better numbers. So I don't think 8 million for Diouf is outrageous. I think Reims would be quite happy to pocket that.
Fair enough.
But yeah. Starting centre half then, I think they could raid a championship club. Now, this may not be necessary because they've obviously got Nia Carter to play left centre half. But I think Armel Bella-Kotchap is just a option you cannot refuse. £25 million release clause. There's nothing Southampton can do if you trigger that, of course. He just makes a lot of sense. Really comfortable with the ball at his feet. Such a promising young centre half. A full German international already, I believe. He's played for the national side, hasn't he? Yeah. So he just makes a lot of sense. He's clearly going to be one of the best centre halves in the Premier League in the future. If you sign him now, you're probably not going to have him around for very long. You're probably going to lose him in a summer or two because there are going to be bigger clubs interested. But he would be a big statement of intent.
And it's best to do it now while Southampton in the Championship. Yeah. Because it's probably the lowest price you'll ever get him for.
Well, that is release clause. They can't. It's not going to be any different. But yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. You say lowest price? It's probably more with the Championship that they can offer. He'd be more likely to want to go because it is that step up to the Premier League. But yeah, he would be a magnificent player. You will face competition because Man City are reportedly interested, Liverpool are interested, Arsenal are interested. All the big clubs want him. Tottenham as well. Yeah. I think they're the most likely to get him. They need footballers who are any good. So yeah, you're going to face stiff competition, but maybe go for him. Yeah. Then starting left back. I've gone for someone who can play at left back, but could also play at left wing back as well if they choose that system. I've gone for Nantes left back, Quentin Merlin. Only 23 years of age, a really, really good defender. He's good at 1v1 man marking. He's also good going forwards, so he can play that role really nicely. Obviously, he plays for FC Nantes at the moment in Ligue 1, but he is just a player that makes a lot of sense. I think he's linked with Dortmund as well because they need left backs. They need players to replace Guerrero. But you can offer him more minutes, a lot more minutes than Dortmund can, of course. So I think that would be a swaying factor. He is a good player. He's French as well. There's a lot of French players in this Forest squad, a surprisingly large amount of French players in this Forest squad. If you're bringing in Diouf as well, there's going to be a little French contingent going on.
He brings in a lot of experience as well. As I say, obviously playing in the top division of France, but also European experience. Yeah, he's not got to the Europa League. 16 Europa League.
Yeah, well, around 32, I want to say. Don't think they got
past around 32. Do they? Can't they get out the groups and get to the...
It's the playoff. I mean, they played the Champions League, Juve coming down from the Champions League, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because they didn't top their group, they finished second. But, yeah. But, he's played in the Europa League. Yeah. He only made 4 appearances, but they only had 8 games total. So there wasn't a lot of minutes for him to have there. He's done well this season. Definitely. I think he'd be a good addition. Why players then? We'll start on the right. Callum Hudson-Odoi.
I've seen this one heavily rumoured.
Yeah. I think as a punt, he makes a lot of sense. He does cover you if Brennan Johnson goes. Forest are a club that, because they've got so many players, they could probably take a punt on Hudson-Odoi.
I think he is one of those players where if you can unlock his potential, he's magical. But he's one of those. It's one of those where on his day he is a good player, which is exactly what you want in a backup / rotation winger.
Yeah, I mean he's a really, really talented footballer. Yeah. If you, as you say, if you unleash his potential, you've got one of the best young wingers in the world. But that's never happened for him. But I do
look at the track record of players leaving Cobham and then going on to perform well. Yeah. There's so many. There's an ample amount of players.
You would back him to succeed, I think. And at Forest, where the pressure is off, I think that environment could really suit him. I think he'd work. I think he works wonders there. From the left side, this one's a bit more ambitious, but Borussia Mönchengladbach forward Alassane Player. I think as a rotation option for Morgan Gibbs-White, or if you play Morgan Gibbs-White as an attack midfielder, sort of play 4-2-3-1, which is another one of the 17 formations they've tried this season, I think player off that left flank really works. He's a great creative player. I've always known him for his goals, but this season he notched up 9 assists and 1 goal in the Liga, not in the Liga, in the Bundesliga. He's a really quick player, great on the counter charge, can fly down the left hand side. I think he just provides Awoniyi with another source of creativity, creates more chances for him.
And also, Gibbs-White is magnificent, but he's not invincible. He will need a rest. He can't play at the top of his game for 38 games a season, excluding cup competitions. He will need a rest, and you want to be able to rest him with magical players. If you play him in his more natural role, in that attack midfielder role, rather than wide man, that could, because you just centralise him, he's in a more dangerous area, and you add wingers who are really, really talented. So it just makes a lot of sense for me. Player can also cover up front as well, so that does work for that as well. I would say about 15 million for Hudson-Odoi, 10 million for player. I think that's some great bit of business there. Player's only got 2 years left in his deal. For Hudson,
a year. I think his contract expires 24.
Still for me, because I think a couple of years ago when you first kind of hit the scene and you thought, look at this boy play, you thought it's probably 25-30 million.
Yeah. And then forwards, let's just ignore the fact Chris Wood was signed and signed on anyway. Kelechi Iheanacho.
Yes. I really like that.
Apparently an £8 million fee is what Leicester would be happy to sell him for. I think this just makes a lot of sense for all parties. For Iheanacho, it's a route back to the Premier League. For Leicester, they're moving on one of their forwards, which they've got Daka, they've got Vardy, they can deal without him. And Forest, they're getting a striker who has done well in the Premier League.
He's an established Premier League striker.
He's done
Premier
fine.
League quality. How many goals did he get last year? Did he get double digits?
I don't think so. He played for a team that got relegated.
No, I think he's around there though. He got quite a few.
He scored 5.
Okay, he got
5 goals, 5 assists, 10 contributions in only 11 starts. 28 appearances overall, but only 11 starts. Give him more minutes, give him more game time. I think there's a good player there. He'll be a really nice rotation option.
He'll be in a similar boat to what he was last year. We rotated Awoniyi and Chris Wood.
And it gives you options because there's going to Chris Wood. There's going to be plenty of different formations. Yeah. There might be one with 2 strikers in one week. You never know. But... And
if you've been another striker right in that show, it means you don't have to play Chris Wood if Awoniyi got injured.
What a miracle. Why have they signed Chris Wood? That's my one takeaway from this video.
Forest fans, if you could explain to us why on earth Forest have signed Chris Wood.
Lost on that one, but so that would come to 105 million if they were to sign Aldero Diouf, both goalkeepers, Bella Kotchap, Merlin, Hudson-Odoi, player, Iheanacho, and they've already signed Chris Wood. So that comes to around 105.
And losing Jesse Lingard's wage off the wage bill probably means you can sign at least one of those.
Yeah, and if you sell some of the Deadwood, like Sam Surridge is going to cover pretty much everything you can pay for Kelechi Iheanacho. Surridge around that fee. That's all. That's only 3 mil less than you're buying Iheanacho for. So that is fantastic.
That is mental, by the way. Sam Surridge, 3 million less than Iheanacho.
Yeah, 3 mil less than that Diouf as well at Reims. So lots of options there that Forest can go for. I hope we've covered it comprehensively. I know Forest fans got annoyed at us last year because we weren't aware of a lot of the players, but we did. I hope we did better this year. Please do leave your thoughts in the comments below.
Last year, they were promoted side, weren't they? So
we didn't. We not massive viewers of the Championship. Only really watch the mighty Hatters, and the Premier League now. Things we'll have to see. But that's everything for this video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you've got any other suggestions, actually, before we go, we need some predictions for next season. Where do you see them being? Are they going to be in a relegation fight again? Could they push up?
I think they'll push up. I think they're mid-table.
Okay.
Around that 11th, 12th mark. Yeah. Because they looked really strong last year. Awoniyi's firing, Gibbs-White, Johnson all on fire. And defensively, they're a bit more solid.
Yeah, and there's going to be a bit more gel. They've been together for a year now. If they had a couple more players,
it can take time to get to the races.
To add to that squad.
I mean, they're 19th apart from Southampton.
And they don't really know. They don't have a tactical identity yet. But if next season they've got more of an idea of how they play, they've got a couple more additions as well. I think they could build a really strong team, and that could definitely change their football next season. Yeah. But I think their squad's better than the Fulham one, which finished 10th. Sorry. So I don't see any reason why they can't be pushing up into the top 10 or just outside it. I also think that they're helped out by the fact the teams coming up from the Championship aren't of the highest quality. Burnley will probably be decent, but Sheffield United and Luton are both going to be in the fight at the bottom. I don't think Everton are going anywhere anytime soon, so they're going to be right down there. Bournemouth will probably be down there. I think Fulham will drop. I think Palace could be in trouble if they lose a couple of players. So I think Forest are in the strongest position of all the teams that are down there last season, other than maybe West Ham, because they've obviously won the Conference League now. They've got that injection of cash. They can go and invest. Obviously, they are losing Rice, though, so they may well get relegated with 0 points because he is their entire team. But I do think Forest can push on. I think they could be just outside that top 10.
Yeah.
But they have got to be wary. They can't afford to be complacent. It is going to be a difficult season. Obviously, it's the Premier League. So they've got to be wary that they may struggle more than they expect. But yeah, that is everything for today then. If you have enjoyed, please do leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here. Leave a comment below. Leave your thoughts if you're watching on YouTube. If you're on Spotify or any other audio platform, then feel free to head over to any of our socials and leave your feedback there. You can head over to YouTube, get involved in the community. But yeah, that is everything for today. Thank you very much for watching or listening, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.